on this table.
We'll go ahead and continue with our post-race media availabilities. We're now joined by our race winner, Ryan Blaney. Ryan, congratulations. We'll go ahead and open it up for questions. If you have one, please raise your hand and we'll get a mic over to you. We'll start down here with Rich, then we'll go to Mark, and then to Dustin and Bob.
Hi, Ryan. Rich Thompson, Mass Live. Just make a statement about the team, yourself with a win and a stage win, Joey with a stage win in the fourth. Just, a comment about the team's effort today.
Yeah, just massive props to all of, Team Penske, Wood Brothers. We did a great job leading up to this race and preparing, and through the weekend practice, qualifying, in the race, our cars are really fast. And as a whole company, that's something they should really be proud of. I'm just in the fortunate situation I get to drive a fast race car, but yeah, it speaks volumes of the hard work that they've done. And I think for us to run first, Josh to run second, was Joey third or fourth, top 5 stage win, that's a great day. And so yeah, just huge props to them, and couldn't be prouder of them. And it was nice that we were able to capitalize on having such fast cars.
We'll go to Mark over to the right.
Mark Garrow, PRN. Ryan, Team Penske has proven in the past that if you give them a couple of races to breathe and really work on the next critical race that you guys have been able to cash in, whether it's you or Joey, do you feel so how do you feel about round 3 now that you have a little bit of extra time to prepare for that round?
Yeah, it gives us a little bit more time ahead of time to think of Vegas. We're still going to give max effort at Kansas and Roval. The goal is to win every single week, and we will not shy any attention away from Kansas or the Roval. But you might start working on Vegas a little bit earlier than you would, just knowing that you're going to be in the round of 8 there, and getting ready for that place. So yeah, but it is comforting, right? That's the dream deal is winning the first race of the round, right? So where you're already know that you can focus on first race of the next round a little bit earlier, and maybe can experiment with something, in the other 2 races to maybe help, next week, maybe you try something at Kansas that might go better at Vegas, 2.5 miles. So it just gives you the options to do that.
So you kind of stole the next question. In winning the opening race, how is that a boost emotionally to you, the team, again, to be able to sleep a little bit better at night?
I'm just proud of them, man. These guys are great. I've said it for years that all the guys on this 12 team are awesome. Jonathan's unbelievable, and it's been a pleasure to work with them, for as long as I have, and just continue to get better. These guys just continue to refine their craft and become closer bonded and trust each other. That you have 100% trust already, but it just builds with time. So it's fun to go to work with these guys every week, and just have a good time with it, and understand when you're in the trenches, you're in it together, and lift each other up when things aren't going good, and support each other. And when things are going great, you're having a fun time. So it's just a huge testament to them. It makes me look good. I get to drive a really fast race car. That's where it starts, is giving me fast race cars, so I appreciate that. But yeah, Penske has just done a bang-up job of it, and hopefully we can continue, building on some momentum through these next couple races, and then, the races to come.
We'll go in the back to Dustin, and then down here to Bob.
Dustin Albino, J-Ski. Ryan, on the final restart, you got by Josh, then you started to close the gap back. So what was it like battling him towards the end?
Yeah, he struggled getting going a little bit, and I was able to clear him. And I kind of gapped a little bit, and I was like, all right, kind of tire save mode, still got 35 to go. And then he gained a few car lengths over the course of 2 or 3 laps, and I'm like, all right, pick the pace up here a little bit, and didn't have a lot of pace to pick up. I was getting loose, really loose, and that was the first time we did 2 all day, and it definitely changed my car to where it wasn't what it was before. So it's how do you adjust to that? How do I, and you're scrambling to find lines, what is different lines? Do I got to get to the 3rd lane, 4th? Do I split these certain seams? How do I exit? You're doing that under fire. And yeah, he came on quick there for a while, and I wouldn't say it was defense mode. It was just searching around to try to find pace in a line that worked a little bit better than what I was doing. And yeah, I 100% expect Josh to go try to win that race, you know. So that was fun racing with him. He got close a couple times. I appreciate no bumper being laid to me. That was a lot of fun racing Josh. He's been a great part to this, you know, organization this year, and proud of those guys for having a good run. But yeah, they came on strong for a while, and that was tough. That was a tough 20 laps to hold him off until I gapped him again a little bit with maybe 6 to go when his right rear got burned off of it. But yeah, that's what racing's all about. Thanks.
Come down here to Bob, and then to Matthew, then to Pat.
Bob Cockris, Fox Sports. I don't know if you saw, but Denny got into Ty Gibbs for one of the early cautions, and it was, you know, okay, how tight should got one of your teammates who's in the playoffs run you versus how tight would regular driver run you? So I'm curious. You know, at one point you're battling Joey for the lead, and at one point you're battling Josh for the lead. Did you have different expectations depending on either of them?
No. You know, when Joey and I are racing for the lead, we know what this is for. So fully expect us to race hard, but race clean. Like, I was never going to lay a bumper to Joey. Trying to get by him there in stage 3 or stage 1, I think. When he was leading, I got by him. Like, I just didn't want to do it that way. Teammate or not, I didn't want to do it that way, especially with a teammate. Like, I'm not just going to rough you up. So, but I fully expect to race hard. And that's what Roger expects of us. You know, that's what Eddie and Len expect with the Wood brothers. Like, going to go out there, we're going to race really hard, but we're going to do it in a fair way. So, yeah, no, I thought we did everything great. I fully expected it to be tough racing, and we definitely showed that.
And in your experiences, do teammates, like, do you talk about these things on Monday or Tuesday if you have an issue or with each other with the way you race each other, or is it it's not really worth something even talking about?
I think it's more beneficial to speak on it sooner than later, because if you don't speak on it sooner than later, things fester. People have their own minds. Like, did you do it on purpose? You know, whatever. And then things can kind of build. So I think the sooner that you can get that stuff out in the open, just have a conversation with somebody. I think that's always the better way to go about it. And everyone's different, but that's just my mindset on it.
We'll come right here to Matthew, then to Pat, and then all the way in the back.
Matthew Morris with Northeast Sports News. Ryan, if you can, I know Joey came here and tested a month ago for a tire test. How much do you think it helped you guys today? And then during the race today, we saw drivers using different lanes throughout the track. How do you think the characteristics of this track has changed over time?
Yeah, I think so. I thought the tire was really good today. You could really piss it off if you were not kind to it early. Like, you could burn the right rear off it really quick. And you saw that. I think you saw a lot of guys hit a cliff through the runs. And so I thought it was a step in the right direction for sure. The cooler temps, I think from where they tested, where the temp was higher in the test. So they probably had a little bit more fall off in the test than today. But yeah, it made you go search. And that fourth lane was available. Third, second, 1.5, bottom lane was available. I thought it was a really racy tire. So I think Goodyear did a good job of understanding that we want to go this direction with this tire and package, and hopefully they continue down that path.
We'll go in the back to Pat.
Pat DeCola, NASCAR.com. From our side of things this weekend, it felt like the pressure was palpable. We could feel the extra tension. Did you feel that yourself, and just how much relief is there now that you don't have to deal with?
Yeah, I mean, that's just part of the playoffs. You know, there's pressure. There's expectations that you should run well, and expectations with yourself, expectations from the outside world, and it's just how do you handle that, you know, and how do you just clear all that stuff out and just go race at the end of the day. That's how I've always tried to think about it, like, just go racing and go do the best job that you can, and that's what I judge my team off of is, did we do a great job collectively? Did we communicate well through the weekend? Did we do a good job on pit road? Did I do my job on the racetrack? That's what I think we did a great job of today. But yeah, it's a lot of pressure. This is your season. This is your year, and you know, everyone's year that can go win a championship. And it's nice that we could rise to the occasion today. Hopefully, we can continue to do it.
We're going to go all the way in the back to the right, and then over here in the back to the left.
Hey, Ryan. Matt Holderman, ABC 22 News, Burlington, Vermont. Every time NASCAR comes up here, we hear the conversation about how unique this track is, as well as the deep racing roots in New England, even though this is the only Cup Series race in New England. So now that you've won a race here in Loudon, does it mean anything extra to you to add your name to that list?
Yeah, I watched a lot of races here growing up, whether I was here or watching on TV. I thought the lobster was one of the coolest things in Victory Lane. I wanted to hold that fucking lobster for like 30 years. I wanted to hold that thing up in Victory Lane just because I saw guys doing it when I was growing up, and it was just the coolest thing ever. And it's funny, like tracks have certain trophies that catch your eye as a kid, and this is one of them. And it was super cool to do that today. Sorry for swearing. But lobster's cool, man. It's so cool. And but yeah, I love coming up here. This part of the country is gorgeous, and especially this time of year, everything's changing. Like you said, dedicated race fans up here, here in the Northeast. They're fantastic. It was a great crowd today. Was lucky with the weather. Couldn't ask for a better weekend. So yeah, it means a lot coming up here, and this place is deserving of a playoff race. It was a shame they lost one for a few years, and it's nice that they have one back, and the fans showed out and showed their support for everybody.
We're going to go over here. You're good? Okay, we'll go to Holly in the back, and then to Bob as well in the back.
Hi, Ryan. Holly Kane with the NASCAR Wire Service. Do you eat lobster?
Yeah, I love lobster.
Okay.
I was part of the lobster bake last night that Marcus threw. Yeah, I had
Wow.
downed it.
I wanted to ask you about the importance of getting a win in the playoffs versus just advancing. How big was this to not only secure your, bid in the next round, but to do it with a victory? Yeah,
it's huge. Anytime you can win in the playoffs, it's just momentum. Like, I'm a big believer in momentum and confidence, and not to say, like, I think all of us, right, you go into every weekend confident that you can do it. Your whole group is going in, like, heads held high. Hey, we can do this. But when you win in the playoffs, just a little bit extra, and it's definitely not something to where, like, you don't get to relax. That's a big thing to me. Like, we're not going to go relax for 2 weeks. I'm not going to go kick our feet up and just ride around. Like, go try to win 2 more races. And you got to stay in that mode. You got to stay in that on-kill mode. That's super important. And it's nice when we can do that. So it's just a confidence boost for everybody. A little bit of maybe weight off your shoulders to where you don't have to worry about points or anything. But still at the same time, you're trying just as hard every week to win. Whether you're way out on points, got to win, or you've already won, or you're looking good on points. It's to me, it's the same goal every week.
We'll go in the back to Bob.
Bob Bianchi, WSMN. Since you mopped up today, were you surprised that the Toyotas weren't stronger than they have been in the past year?
Yeah, they didn't. I didn't think they had the pace that I expected out of them. I saw it in practice a little bit. Like, Denny always runs really good here. Christopher Bell, and they didn't really seem to be as good that they have in the past. But this sport is just ebbs and flows. It's waves, ups and downs, and never know how you're going to unload. Like, you just try to do the best job you can in prep and setups through the week, and you never know where it can wind up. We just hit it really good this weekend, and they were just a little bit off from what they normally were. And I don't know if it was the tire or what. There's things make a big change when you have a big tire change like this. It can really can turn you around. So, but that's just motorsports. You never know who's going to be good and who's going to need to find a little bit of pace any weekend.
Are there any final questions for Ryan? We'll take one last one down here with Bob.
Bob Pockris, Fox Sports. Does this change anything that you will do just as far as preparation for Kansas or the Roval? I guess I'm thinking like maybe stay out and get an extra playoff point if you can, type of thing.
Yeah, maybe. As far as my prep work through the week and our teams, that'll stay the same. I try to keep that consistent. But yeah, maybe the Roval gets interesting because in that race, like, you'll have guys going for points, so they won't flip the stage to get points. I think we're maybe in a unique spot to flip the stages and go try to win the race. I think that's a little bit more of a play than you're not points racing really, unless you know for a fact you might be able to win a stage. All right, then maybe you stay out and try to get that point. So all those things you just kind of make decisions on in the moment. That's Jonathan, he gets really creative with that stuff. So it opens up your box a little bit, and it makes you feel a little bit better if it doesn't work out. Like if it backfires on you, it's not as big of a deal as if you're fighting for your life, for points, every point you can get.
Does the win make you feel any more like, oh, this could be another championship year?
I don't think the win makes me feel any more that way. I felt really good about I think we can contend. This team has been really good all year. It's a championship contending team. It's a championship winning team a couple years ago. It's pretty much the same group of guys. And so my mindset really hasn't changed. I believe we can do it all season. And this win doesn't make me believe we can do it even more than what I felt like, going through the whole year.
All right, Ryan.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for your
everybody.
time and congratulations.
Thanks.